This video is going to be about why I believe that school is something that actually hurts people a lot more than it actually helps. And before I get into the three reasons why I believe it actually hurts people, this is what I would like to start off with is a story. So when I first got my engineering job, as I stated yesterday, I thought I was that guy. I thought I was that guy. I was like, hey, look, push my tie up, and I'm like, hey, look, like I'm an engineer, like put some respect on my name, to be honest. And when I started working and I started to actually, you know, get into the field and start working with people and talking with people at the specific job that I was at, there's basically you have engineers or people that work in the office buildings, which were engineers, accountants, finance, and all that stuff. But as far as the engineers actually going out and helping build what I was working on, when we would go out there, we would actually have trades who actually did the work. So these were electricians, these was welders, these were plumbers, these were HVAC people. And when I would actually go out there, I would just, talk to them and different things like that. And what I actually come to find out or came to find out is that many of them did not like engineers. And I was like, man, like what's going on? Like, I don't even know you and you do not like me. And that's when I end up discovering that basically years prior, many people that were engineers would basically talk bad to or talk down upon these people that were trades as if they were better than them. And I was like, I don't know why people would do that because let's say for instance, I was a new engineer at the time and I'm like, I don't know anything about building this stuff, but you've been here for 20 years and obviously you know more than what I know. So I'm sitting here listening to them. I don't care if he's an engineer or if he was an electrician or whatever. Like I'm sitting there and I'm actually listening to this person because they're actually out here working on this. So basically, what I end up discovering is that there are many people, which is this is the first point. There are many people who go to school and they allow for school to be their identity. And at first, for me, that was what I was doing. If I wanted to go and talk to a girl, just being transparent, I would say, "Hey, my name's Matthew. Oh, I'm an engineer. I got a little money or something." But that what I ended up realizing ended up attracting the wrong type of women that I wanted to talk to or that I actually wanted to be with. So many people go through school or they go to school, they become an engineer, a doctor, or maybe they went to a specific type of school, Harvard, Yale, FAMU, whatever, and they say, oh, I went to this school or I went to this institution, and basically they use that as a way to leverage themselves or a way to gain credibility. And just because you went to a specific school, just because you have a specific degree, does not mean that you have some level of prestige or that you are better than anybody, because you're not. Your degree is not who you are. And many people are going throughout life allowing for their degree to be who they are, or allowing their degree to be their identity of who they are, instead of just being a human and allowing for that to actually be what it is that you do. Now, the second thing that I actually noticed is that many people after school stop reading. Now, I personally had stopped reading for a while, and it wasn't until about 3 years ago, or 3 to 4 years ago, that I actually started picking up a book and just reading for fun again. But the main reason that I stopped reading was because they would give you these large textbooks, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go through 15 chapters in this, 12 weeks or in these 3 months or whatever, and then we're gonna test you on it." And I'm like, okay, let me go through this book, let me go to office hours, let me do all this stuff. And then you end up going and taking a test on stuff that you didn't really even learn about. And it's because you had to either one, listen to the teacher, or two, read the book. And each teacher was different. So some teachers would be like, well, I'm going to let you know about this. And they'll give you like a little snippet of something that you would only know if you were listening and you took notes on it. And then you would have to go read the book. But at any rate, many people stop reading. And that's one of the second biggest things that I really dislike about school, and why I believe school is not that great and why it harms more people, is because it goes and it really starts to cause people not to think for themselves. Many people think that, oh, just because I passed a test that I'm worthy of, this status, or I'm worthy of whatever. And that is not true. All of us are human. Yes, we may have different shades of skin. However, if we all were to get cut, we will all bleed blood. You know, we have similar or the same organs, and many people have to get beyond the fact that you have a degree and making it think that you're better than somebody, because you're not. Okay, all of us are the same. All of us are the same. And when you start understanding that and you start actually respecting people in that manner, then you will start to see yourself grow. Now, the last thing that I actually want to discuss is when it comes to you actually having a degree. There's nothing wrong with having a degree. However, what I've discovered is if you want to actually be able to change your identity, or if you want to discover who you are, you have to start reading. You have to really do some self-evaluation, and you have to get down to the nitty-gritty. Now, I personally already know that this is going to be something that's difficult, because you have to face yourself. Those things maybe from your childhood that you haven't dealt with, those things from maybe a past relationship that you haven't dealt with that have hurt you. You have to actually take time out, and you have to go and start working on those things to become a better person, because your job is not who you are. Your job is what you do. When you leave your job, that is when you actually have a life still, and you have to actually still be, you know, that person. Now, for many people, if you get to a certain point, you will be able to be similar throughout the entire process. And the reason why I say being similar is because when you go home, you know, people see you as this person. When you go to work, people see you as this person, and you just allow what it is that you're doing on a daily basis. You allow for that to be what you do and not who you are. Now, there are many things that I would suggest that you could do, but the first thing is sit down and really think about, are you really living a life that you desire to live, and how has school actually affected you? And then just start reading books. There are people that have went and spent, you know, 20, 30, 40 years doing research to learn about different topics. And when you actually go and you start reading those books, it allows for you to have different ideas. It allows for you to start having different thought processes, and it allows for you to start having different conversations. One of the biggest things that I really enjoy is now when I go and I read books, I can actually go, and if I don't know a word, it's okay. Everyone is ignorant to something, but if you go and you start learning about it, or learning what to do with it, or learning how to do certain things, then that will allow for you to be a more well-rounded person. So I hope that this video helps. I know the other video was actually a little bit longer, and this one's a little bit shorter, but I do have to go to work, so I wanted to come back and at least redo this video just so I can make sure that it had sound. And in tomorrow's video, we're actually going to start getting into what I started learning about entrepreneurship. You know, this is still working our way up to what I'm doing now, how I'm doing it, and different things like that. But I definitely believe that school can hinder you, because it causes you to think that just because you got certain grades, you're better than somebody, and that's not actually true. So if you are in that situation, and if this video kind of resonated with you, make sure you comment down below what your biggest takeaway is, and I will catch you all in tomorrow's video.